Thank you all for coming tonight. I certainly hope you're having a wonderful time as always. The party will continue afterwards, and it certainly gets a lot better because I loosen up a little bit. I'd like to give a shout out to Meredith Cornelius. Meredith is our chief of marketing and also my sister. There's no nepotism involved, right? But this is the 5th year Merv's actually run the event, and you can see what a wonderful job she does. She puts a lot of effort into it. But more importantly, at midnight, it will be Meredith's birthday. So please go up to Meredith and wish her a happy 29 plus or minus whatever she wants to tell you. So tonight we are thrilled to honor Stephen Zaillian by inducting him into our Final Draft Hall of Fame. It suggested that he would be our honoree this year. We only had one worry, and that was, does he have enough room left on his fireplace mantle for another trophy? I mean, Mr. Zaillian has amassed quite a collection of accolades, from an Oscar, a Humanities Prize, a BAFTA Award, a Golden Globe, the WGA West Laurel Award for Lifetime Achievement. I was there, by the way. And I can go on and on and on and on. And it's no surprise that many tributes have been made to him. He's been creating unforgettable screenplays for the last 25 years. Let's go over some of them. The Phantom and the Snowman, Awakening, Searching for Bobby Fischer, Mission Impossible, Gangs in New York, Hannibal, Clear and Present Danger, American Gangster, and Schindler's List, just to name a few. 15 produced credits as an A-list screenwriter. And now we're looking forward to his adaptation of The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. I purposely haven't read the book just so I could be surprised. Okay, the truth is I haven't finished reading a book since I read Curious George Goes to the Circus. Here and there. Searching for Bobby Fischer, actually, which is one of 3 films that Mr. Zaillian directed, is actually one of my all-time favorite films. My first son was born right around the time the movie came out, and it changed the way I was looking at becoming a father, what fatherhood would be. It was like the character was making decisions based on his son and through his son's eyes, and I think that's what Stephen's films often set out to do, is change how you see yourself and how you see the world. You know, part of what makes the script so compelling and the movies made from them so moving is in what he calls his use of the reluctant hero. You know, people who changed the world, not because they wanted to, but because they had to. And Mr. Zaillian's films often challenge us with these complex characters, upsetting our apathy and shifting our worldview. He's a gracious, talented man who's made film history repeatedly and remains unassuming about his talents. So please welcome our 2011 Hall of Fame inductee, a man all screenwriters aspire to be, Mr. Stephen Zaillian.
Talking about 25 years, first of all, I can't believe it's been 25 years, but you know, it just reminds me how lucky I am. You know, I mean, being able to make a living writing, you know, that's reward enough, and I know how lucky I am, and I really appreciate that. You know, and getting, you know, this award from Final Draft is fantastic. I'd like to accept in the memory of a man named Dan Duma. And who is Dan Duma? Some of you might remember Dan. Some of you probably knew him and didn't know you knew him. About 30 years ago, I walked into Dan's shop on Westwood Boulevard. It's called the Writer's Computer Store. And, you know, that name was Truth in Advertising. They catered to writers and they sold computers. And they were really one of the first stores that did that. And I mean, at the time, I don't even know if it was computers. I think it was computer. I think they sold one kind of computer. And it was the kind of computer, it was the exact computer that we all wanted, those writers who were thinking about getting rid of their typewriters. And it was a IBM PC. It had, it was almond colored. It was about shaped like this. It had a box monitor on top of it. It was, color coordinated with its keyboard. And, you bought these things back in those days without having any idea what to do with them. You knew you wanted it, you just didn't know why. And this is like 1982. And you had to take classes to learn. You had to memorize and type commands to do anything. There were no icons. You had to study, and I mean study, MS-DOS, which I thought even then was an awful name, and I didn't even know what an operating system was. There was something called ASCII, ASCII. I have no idea what that is, but at the time I had to learn what it was. Anyway, Dan sold me that computer. He taught the classes, and he was enormously patient in my case, and he taught me what I needed to know to make the thing work. And it did work. It just didn't work for writing scripts, which was the only reason that I bought it. And it didn't work for writing scripts for a number of years until finally Final Draft appeared. And, how important is Final Draft to me? There are three things I do with my computer every working day. There's a fourth, which is throwing it out the window in frustration, but the three that I do every day is I turn it on, I check my email, and I open Final Draft. And how necessary is it to someone like me who writes first drafts in longhand? How many revisions do I really do on a script that I absolutely have to have Final Draft? I decided to check because I knew I was coming here. I decided to investigate. I opened up the folder on my desktop called Dragon Tattoo, and I counted the Final Draft revision files in it. 20? 30? There were 126. We've all been using Final Draft so long that it's easy to forget what life was like without it. And it's one of those rare things that does exactly what it says it's going to do and what it needs to do. Xerox does that, FedEx does that, which is why we say Xerox and FedEx, not just as nouns, but we say them as verbs. We Xerox things, we FedEx things. I think Final Draft deserves to be a verb too. So if I may suggest, from now on when we're emailing scripts to anyone, instead of saying attached is the script, we say I'm final drafting you the script. All right, we'll get started with it that way. Thank you so much for this honor.